Welcome to yet another edition of Stupid News, the first one of 2020, and the first one of this decade, and hopefully, there'll be many more to come this decade, because, like I've made clear, I love doing this series. And oh boy, I have some doozies for you today. From stupidity in everyday life to stupidity in politics, from deadly diseases to murder, this video will have it all. Anyway, let's begin. Survey: 38% of Americans won't buy Corona beer under any circumstances because of coronavirus outbreak. Corona beer isn't making any changes to its advertising despite the name's unfortunate similarity to the deadly coronavirus. Constellation Brands, which brews several variations of the popular lager, said in a statement that its customers understand there is no link between the virus and our business. Sorry. Sales of Corona remain very strong, and we appreciate the continued support from our fans, Constellation Brand spokesperson Stephanie McGuane told CNN Business. Our advertising with Corona is consistent with the campaign we have been running for the last 30 years and is based off strong consumer sentiment. Constellation said Corona Extra sales grew 5% in the United States in the 4 weeks that ended February 16th. That's nearly double the trend of the past 52 weeks. Corona sales are heavily dependent on the U.S. market, unlike some of its far more international rivals. Yet the spread of the coronavirus couldn't have come at a worse time for Constellation, which is spending $40 million to launch its new Corona-branded hard seltzer. Part of the promotion includes a sponsored tweet that has sparked criticism for using the phrase, "coming ashore soon." And, of course, all that talk about the coronavirus not affecting this beer's sales whatsoever was a crock of shit. 5W Public Relations said that 38% of Americans wouldn't buy Corona under any circumstances because of the outbreak, and another 14% said they wouldn't order Corona in public. The survey encompasses polling from 737 beer drinkers in the United States. In another survey conducted by YouGov, the firm found consumers' intent to purchase Corona fell to its lowest in 2 years. The survey also showed Corona's buzz score, a metric that measures favorability, has dropped significantly since the beginning of the year. This really does show how fucking stupid this country is, man. I mean, I know that's public knowledge among many people who live here, and of course many more people around the globe, that Americans are fucking stupid, but Jesus Christ, you won't buy Corona beer out of fear of the coronavirus. I mean, what the fuck do you expect? You're gonna drink the beer and then all of a sudden you're gonna contract the coronavirus? Is that what's going through your head? How fucking stupid can you be? I made a joke tweet last weekend when I was at the store and I saw a huge pile of packs of Corona beers, and I took a picture of it and I wrote in the tweet, "What an unfortunate name this beer has right now." And it was mostly a joke, haha, funny meme, but apparently that really is the case. People see the name Corona on this beer and link it to coronavirus, even though this beer has been around for decades and decades, and think, oh, this might have something to do with the coronavirus. Get that away from me. I'm not gonna drink it. Now, this beer, I've been told by plenty that this beer is shit, so maybe it's for the better that people are not drinking it, but for this exact reason, oh, it has the name Corona, must be linked to the coronavirus. Holy shit, grow a fucking brain. And that slogan that Corona Beer tweeted out on its official Twitter, "coming ashore soon." What an awfully timed ad campaign slogan. Jesus Christ. It must be one of the worst timed slogans ever. Holy fucking shit. Corona, coming ashore soon. Yeah, oh my god. Like, did any of the people who came up with that slogan thought for a split second, maybe this isn't the best slogan to come out with right now during this whole coronavirus pandemic? Because our beer is named Corona and our slogan is coming ashore soon, and obviously, coronavirus is airborne and has been traveling all across the seas and is now in like 100 countries and such. It's just the perfect storm for this beer company. Holy fucking shit. I mean, it's sad, of course, that, sales are plummeting because of stupid fucking Americans, but it's just so hilarious at the same time. This country, man. Here's a first in this series, an update to a previously covered story in a previous edition of Stupid News. Daredevil Mad Mike Hughes dies while attempting to launch a homemade rocket. Daredevil Mad Mike Hughes died during an attempt to launch his homemade rocket on Saturday. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Mike Hughes' family and friends during this difficult time. It was always his dream to do this launch, and Science Channel was there to chronicle his journey, the Science Channel said in a statement. Hughes was scheduled to launch his homemade rocket for a new Science Channel series called Homemade Astronauts, according to the Discovery Channel website. Hughes and Waldo Stakes built a steam-powered rocket with the intent of launching Hughes 5,000 feet into the air, the website said. He eventually hoped to develop a rocket that would launch him 62 miles in the air to where the Earth's atmosphere meets outer space, according to the Discovery Channel. Deputies responded to the fatal crash off Highway 247 in Barstow, California, on Saturday afternoon, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office said in a statement. While authorities did not formally identify Hughes, they said a man was pronounced dead after a rocket crashed in the open desert during a launch event. A sheriff's aviation unit is investigating. No other injuries were reported. I covered Mad Mike back in the very first edition of Stupid News. I talked about a story that I came across back then about this crazy guy who was investing $20,000 into a homemade rocket that he would launch into the atmosphere to prove once and for all that the Earth is indeed flat. I kind of sort of forgot about his existence until now. And I gotta say, now that he's dead, and considering that he died while trying to prove that the Earth is flat, willingly hopping into this rocket that he probably didn't know was safe or not, I gotta say, this is natural selection taking place. I mean, he did something incredibly fucking stupid to prove something that has been debunked to hell and back, but still, for whatever fucking reason, believed in. I mean, he clearly denied very basic, obvious science, and he was willing to die in order to prove that this very stupid, obviously fake theory was true. And, I don't really feel too bad for the guy. Am I happy he died? No, of course not. I only reserve that for the scum of the earth, and this guy was far from that. He was just a really stupid, crazy person that was so hell-bent on proving something that was obviously false. But, you know what? In a way, I kind of admire that dedication. He was so committed to proving that the earth was flat. Again, it's a very stupid bullshit theory, but he was very committed to proving this. And there's even a quote from the article that I covered back in 2017 that is honestly very inspiring. Here it goes. If you're not scared to death, you're an idiot. It's scary as hell, but none of us are getting out of this world alive. I like to do extraordinary things that no one else can do, and no one in the history of mankind has designed, built, and launched himself in his own rocket, Hughes said. Again, this was in the article that I covered back in 2017, and honestly, those are words to live by. He was very committed to proving something, and he was willing to risk his life to prove it. Again, he probably would have proved nothing if his mission was successful, and of course this failed in the worst way imaginable, but he wasn't scared. He gave no shits what other people thought, and that's something admirable. Rest in peace, Mike. May you continue to be a crazy motherfucker in whatever afterlife there may be, and hopefully if you're in some form of afterlife, you now know that the Earth is indeed not flat. You were a moron, but you were a moron with balls and extreme dedication, and that has to be admirable to some extent, right? Florida woman accused of zipping boyfriend in suitcase, leaving him to die. The woman told police she passed out and forgot her boyfriend was in the suitcase, but police said cell phone video recorded her mocking him while he begged to be let out. A Florida woman who allegedly zipped her boyfriend in a suitcase and left him there to die was arrested Tuesday in his killing. Sarah Boone, Boone, 42, of Winter Park, faces a charge of second-degree murder in the death Monday of George Torres Jr. Boone said she was playing a game of hide-and-seek with Torres when she zipped him into a suitcase, thinking it would be funny. According to a report by the Orange County Sheriff's Office, Boone and Torres had allegedly been drinking alcohol, and she said she went upstairs and passed out while Torres was still in the suitcase. Waking up to her cell phone ringing multiple times, Boone said she realized Torres was still in the suitcase, where she found him unresponsive, according to the report. She called 911, and emergency responders who came to the home confirmed Torres had died. The sheriff's office said Boone's statements have been inconsistent, and that on cell phone footage, Torres can be heard screaming for help in the suitcase while Boone chides him. Torres yells out Boone's name, asking for help, to which she replies, "For everything you've done to me, fuck you," apparently laughing. The police report said, "I can't fucking breathe, seriously," Torres shouts from the suitcase, the report said. "Yeah, that's what you do to me when you choke me," Boone said, adding, "Oh, that's how I feel like when you cheat on me," according to the sheriff's report. The footage also shows Boone telling a pleading Torres to shut the fuck up, and shows the suitcase moving as Torres apparently tries to get out of it. Now, call me fucked up, but in a very, very dark way, I find this comical. From top to bottom. Oh, we were just playing hide and seek. That's how he ended up in the suitcase. I wonder how she actually got him to get into that suitcase. Did she actually say, "Oh, let's play hide and seek. Oh, I'll go into the suitcase," and then she notices that he goes into the suitcase. She zippers up the suitcase and leaves him there to fucking die. I know, that's a horrible, horrible way to die. He slowly but surely suffocated to death. And I'm sure he was in an excruciating position in order to get him to fit into a suitcase, which, how the fuck was he able to do that? Must have been a really small guy if he was able to fit in a suitcase. I don't know, but anyway, I'm sure his death was terrible, but it's still just funny in a very fucked up kind of way. And of all things, why leave him to die in a suitcase? Why not make his death look accidental in some kind of way? Or instead of calling the police like a fucking moron, why didn't you just dump the suitcase somewhere where people would be unable to find it? Maybe put it in a river or something. Make sure it doesn't float up to the surface. I'm probably giving some people some murder ideas, aren't I? So I'll stop here, but from top to bottom, I find this story to be very darkly comical. And plus, why would you record yourself saying all of this to your boyfriend as he's dying inside of this suitcase? I mean, it doesn't help your narrative at all that you got drunk and passed out and forgot he was in the suitcase. Like, were you trying to get caught? I just don't understand the logic here. I mean, you called 911. The police were obviously going to seize some of your belongings because you are a suspect. It was very suspicious that your boyfriend goes inside a suitcase and then you get drunk conveniently and forget that he's in the suitcase at all. Like, you didn't think that would raise some eyebrows with the police? I don't know. Maybe her motive here was to actually get caught. I don't fucking know. But let's say she didn't want to get caught, which is more than likely the case. Why the fuck would you record yourself doing that? That only incriminates you. But then again, you live in Florida, so I shouldn't really expect you to be all that smart, right? Burger King thinks moldy Whoppers will get you to buy more burgers. Burger King is remolding. Aha! Get it? News agencies are so lame with their jokes, I swear. Anyways, the image of its signature Whopper in a nauseating new ad campaign that promotes efforts to eliminate artificial preservatives and other additives from the company's menu. The burger chain on Wednesday unveiled pictures of its new preservative-free Whopper. In the campaign, the Whopper is covered in mold, decaying as it's consumed by green fungus. The unconventional marketing effort includes a TV commercial showing the all-natural Whopper slowly rotting over the course of 34 days as the soul singer Dina Washington's 1959 hit What a Difference a Day Makes plays in the background. Deliberately absent are food coloring and special effects, commonly used to make restaurant meals and their ingredients look appetizing in their commercials. By the end of the 45-second commercial, the Whopper has transformed into a green and blue mess. The beauty of no artificial preservatives, the ad's tagline reads. The moldy Whopper may look revolting, but the restaurant brand's International, which owns Burger King, is betting customers are craving healthier organic ingredients. Just over half of millennials and 57% of millennial parents said they're buying more organic products now than they did 5 years prior, according to a September YouGov analysis commissioned by Whole Foods. A 2018 Nielsen report found young adults are more willing to pay higher prices for products made with natural, more environmentally friendly ingredients. Alright, look, I get it, Burger King. You want to make your Whoppers more organic now because a lot of people would prefer more organic foods nowadays, but to make this advertisement showing your Whopper molding and decaying, who the fuck thought this was a good idea? Oh, I just watched this 45-second Whopper ad, a Burger King ad, showing this Whopper slowly but surely molding and decaying and looking all green and blue and disgusting. Who the fuck is gonna want to eat a Whopper after watching that? After watching it decay and become a disgusting mess? Now, I hardly ever watch cable TV, so I've probably been spared from seeing this ad, but just from looking at this picture on the screen, who in their right mind would want to eat a Whopper after looking at this shit? I mean, oh my god. I like myself a Whopper from time to time. Yeah, sure, they're unhealthy as fuck, and they're anything but fresh when you get them, but I still like them, okay? They taste good, whatever. I don't fucking care. It should be common knowledge at this point among all of you that I really don't fucking care about eating healthy. Anyway, I like myself a Whopper from time to time, but the last thing I want to eat after looking at this image is a Whopper. Because, again, who after watching an advertisement showing a fast-paced time-lapse of a Whopper molding and decaying would be like, oh, I really want to eat a Whopper now. I mean, yeah, sure, you're making a point that your Whopper is more organic now since it's molding and decaying, unlike, say, McDonald's, whose food never ever decays. Still, it doesn't look appetizing in the slightest, and I really have no clue why anyone thought this would be a good marketing campaign, showing your food decaying. ABC News suspends veteran correspondent over comments captured in undercover Project Veritas video. ABC News confirmed Wednesday that it has suspended veteran correspondent David Wright for the comments he made in a hidden camera video shared by conservative group Project Veritas. In the video, Wright is critical of news media coverage of President Donald Trump, calls himself a socialist, oh noes, and expresses frustration with the conflicts he sees between the goals of journalism and the corporate profit motive. Any damage that damages our reputation for fairness and impartiality, or gives the appearance of compromising, it harms ABC News and the individuals involved, an ABC News spokesperson said in the statement. David Wright has been suspended, and to avoid any possible appearance of bias, he will be reassigned away from political coverage when he returns. Project Veritas, founded by self-described guerrilla journalist James O'Keefe, is known for conducting undercover sting operations aimed at discrediting the news media and liberal groups. Using video, which critics say is selectively edited, the organization claims to expose media and hidden left-wing agendas. According to the group, Wright made the comments at a hotel bar in Manchester, New Hampshire, while covering the Democratic primary. I feel like the truth suffers. The voters are poorly informed, Wright says in the video. Our bosses don't see an upside in doing what we're supposed to do, which is to speak truth to power and hold people to account. When asked whether Wright considers himself a democratic socialist, Wright says, "Oh yeah, more than that, I consider myself a socialist," he says. "I think there are too many billionaires, and I think there's a wealth gap. That's a problem." ABC is owned by the Walt Disney Company. Wright said the network's division became a profit center and a promotion center. You can't watch Good Morning America without there being a Disney princess or a Marvel Avenger approaching, Wright said. It's all self-promotional and promotion of the company, and also promotion of individuals within the company, as opposed to the kind of dedication to the story and a commitment to telling stories that we need to tell that are maybe hard to tell. The commercial imperative is incompatible with news. Wright said ABC News and other networks are only interested in three things about Trump: the outrage of the day, the investigation, and the palace of intrigue of who's backstabbing whom. Beyond that, we don't really cover the guy, he said. Wright was also frustrated with the coverage of the 2020 election, which he said focused too much on the quote-unquote horse race and quote-unquote the candidate of the week. I don't think we're terribly interested in the voters, Wright said. In another portion of the video, Wright speaks about his frustration with someone Project Veritas captions say was Trump, though Wright does not refer to the president by name in the edited clips. So can anyone tell me what was so wrong with what the guy said in those clips? You can watch the clips for yourselves. They're all over YouTube and Twitter. This went viral as fuck. So did another Project Veritas video from like a month or two ago, where they interviewed someone from the Bernie Sanders campaign. I think it was someone who was volunteering and shit. They were praising Stalin, the USSR, Stalin, saying people need to be thrown in gulags, and they were like, yep, this is what Bernie Sanders stands for. This is what his supporters stand for too. We got them. And all these dumbass conservatives fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. Same thing here. What is so wrong with what the guy said here? Oh, God forbid he's transparent about his beliefs and wear his beliefs on his sleeve. Fuck you, ABC, for suspending this guy. And fuck you for reassigning him to a different position if you do decide to take him back. I want more journalists like this. I want more journalists to be transparent and be like, yep, I'm a socialist, or yep, I'm a capitalist, yep, I'm something else. I wish more reporters were transparent like this guy. I think journalism needs more of that, especially within the mainstream media sphere where everyone is a fucking talking head and repeating the same exact talking points like they're talking off of a fucking script. I wish there were more real people like this in the mainstream media, but no, they're penalized. They lose their positions, they lose their jobs, and fuck Project Veritas for trying to villainize this guy. Isn't this kind of sort of what you want? More truth in the media? Isn't this what conservatives always rally for? We want more truth in media. Well, this guy is transparent about his beliefs, but oh no, he's a socialist. We can't have that. We can't have left-wingers speaking the truth. Oh no, we only gotta listen to the talking heads over at fucking Fox News, people who agree with our viewpoints. We can't listen to we can't listen to completely different viewpoints. We gotta rally for this guy to lose his position. And I've seen so many conservatives fucking champion the suspension of this guy, saying, yep, we got him. Good. We got that fucking socialist scum off of the media. Don't you hate cancel culture? I know I don't believe in cancel culture. I think it's a stupid fucking term that doesn't exist at all, but don't you claim to hate it when, when people rally for people to lose their jobs and positions anywhere just because they have certain beliefs that may go against the grain? Haven't you stated in the past that you hate that? But yet here you are championing the suspension of this guy because, oh no, he's a socialist. So much for being the quote-unquote free speech warriors that you claim to be. Oh, we love freedom of speech. We love people speaking their mind. We want more truth in media. Only when it agrees with our viewpoints. What a great position you have. Fuck you people, fuck ABC News, and fuck Project Veritas. It's nothing but a fucking right-wing propaganda machine that only fucking idiots buy into. And so that concludes the February of 2020 edition of Stupid News. If you have a stupid news story that you would like me to cover, feel free to either @ me on Twitter, linking me the stupid news story that you would wish for me to cover, or I have a Discord server that has a channel completely dedicated to stupid news stories that I look at pretty regularly and people contribute to pretty regularly. And I may or may not take a submission from there, who knows. Anyway, I'm gonna just let my faith in humanity continue to dwindle, as should you, because this world fucking sucks, and is filled with stupid, stupid people. I'm getting so fucking sick of this shit. Anyway, that's all the stupid news that I had to cover for now. Bye-bye.